Vasil Lomachenko made every excuse in the world on why he lost to Teofimo Lopez, and no one said a word. Let's talk.
Straighter, not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a little
few
bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the greats, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you hear, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, hate that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So while you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
Vasil Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez fair and square. There was no gloves flopping around. There was no water talk. There was no ring walk. There was nothing. He lost fair and square. He didn't throw a punch for the first half of the fight. He started to let his hands go in round 7. For 6 rounds, he didn't throw a punch. He was down 6 rounds before he threw a punch. But mysteriously, Vasil Lomachenko made multiple excuses. Vasil Lomachenko, the very first excuse he said was that he injured his arm, he injured his shoulder in the 2nd round. How the fuck do you injure your shoulder in the 2nd round when you haven't threw a punch? You didn't throw a punch. You were moving around. But mysteriously, you told everybody, welcome to my club. I injure shoulder 2nd round. And, I think I won round. Although I throw no punch, I think I win. I'm sitting here like, what? How the fuck do you think you won that round when you didn't throw a punch? You were getting beat on. Teofimo Lopez was beating on your ass. You were just trying to move around. You didn't throw a punch at all. He was beating the shit out of you. For 6 rounds, you didn't throw any punch whatsoever. You were down 6 rounds. But you were claiming that you won some of those first rounds. Even the round where you claim you injured your shoulder, the 2nd round. Where was the droves of people mad that Teofimo's making excuses, telling him to retire because he's making excuses? Where's the droves of people so upset? I can't believe you're making all these excuses. This is crazy. I can't, all these excuses. This is the reason why the sport of boxing is so bad. This is all where's the people at? And I waited for months. No one said anything. This man said he didn't start fighting. Now, peep it now. He didn't start fighting until the 7th round. After the 7th round, he just said, fuck it. That's what he said. But you said earlier that you won some of the first rounds. How the fuck did you win some of the first rounds, but you didn't start fighting to the 7th round? How the fuck does that work? And again, old media didn't say a word. No one said a word. Lomachenko was allowed to blatantly lie. Blatantly lie. Yeah, I tore my shoulder in the 2nd round, but you didn't throw any punches. But you tore your shoulder. So your shoulder was tore to the point where you couldn't use it. That's why you didn't throw any punches. Because you tore your shoulder. So you couldn't use your arm, so you didn't throw any punches. You didn't tear both shoulders. You only tore one shoulder, but you didn't throw no punches from no arms because you tore one shoulder. And people just roll with that excuse. They just roll with it. Hey, it's Lomachenko. This is white Jesus, and we're just going to roll with this. You tore one shoulder, apparently, with no proof. You tore one shoulder. But you didn't throw no punches from the other arm. But Deontay Wilder, when he blatantly tore his bicep in the areola fight and his arm was completely discolored, he used the other arm. But that's different though, right? That's different. So the 7th round, you say, fuck it, you're just going to fight through the pain. After 6 rounds. After 6 rounds of not throwing a punch, to include the first round, after 6 rounds of not throwing a punch, then mysteriously now, you're going to fight through the pain in round 7. So why didn't you fight through the pain in round 3, or round 4, or round 5, or round 6? What was it about round 7 that made you just fight through the pain? Could it be that you didn't throw a punch for 6 rounds and you was fucking losing? Could it be that? Could it be that you didn't throw no punches? You were down 6-0. You was getting a skunk. So you said, fuck it, I'll fight through the pain. In round 7. But mysteriously now, you said you won some of the early rounds where you didn't throw any punches. And again, no one said a word. After round 7, you said you believe you can beat Teofimo with one hand, but you were throwing punches with both hands. Your excuse on losing to Teofimo is that you said you believed after round 7, when you just said, fuck it, I'm going to fight through the pain. After round 7, you said you believed that you can beat Teofimo with one hand. But you are throwing and landing punches with both hands. Both of them. You were throwing hooks, straights, rights, lefts. You were throwing with both hands. But that was the excuse that you said on the reason why you lost Teofimo Lopez. So after that, after the fight was over with, you said the reason why you lost to Teofimo Lopez was because where the judges were sitting. Can't make this shit up. You said where the judges were sitting, the judges' locations of where they were sitting, although they sit in the exact same locations in every fucking fight since the 60s. They sit in the exact same locations. You have on one side, there's four sides of the ring. On one side, you have all of the media. They sit right there. On one side, all the media is looking at the fight from this direction. If you've ever been to a fight, you can look at one side of the ring, and it'll have all the media set up on one side. All the TVs, all the tables, they're all sitting there watching the fight from the exact same side. And then on the other 3 sides is the other 3 judges. A judge here, and a judge there. That's how it's been since the 50s and 60s. I'm like, since the advent of TV, that's how it's been. I'm baffled at how old media will say nothing about that excuse. Where the judges were sitting is the reason why this fight was a draw. I really won. They didn't see me landing all the correct punches. Well, if that's the case, Deontay Wilder beat Tyson Fury because I was able to go back and watch all of the punches landed and he outlanded him. Very simple. Very simple. But you think the fight should have been a draw. Okay, peep this now. And people are running around here saying, oh yeah, the fight was a draw. I really had Lomachenko and Teofimo as a draw because, Loma won the whole second half and Teofimo won the whole first half. So that makes it a draw. 6-6, yeah. It was not 6-6. No, it wasn't. 6-6 7-5 is what it was. 7-5. Teofimo Lopez won the first 6 rounds. Actually, it wasn't even, it was 8-4 because he won the first 6. He won the 12th, and I believe he won like the 10th. The 10th and the 12th, Tio won, and then Loma won like the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and the 11th. 7, 8, 9, 11 was Lomachenko. And then I think Tio won either the 10th or maybe the 10th or the 9th. Either the 10th or the 9th, Tio won. It was 1 of the 2. But Lomachenko won 4 rounds. Teofimo won 8. The first 6, Teofimo won. Lomachenko did not win the next 6. And he didn't win the 12th round. So how the fuck was it a draw? This fight was not close. It was not close. This was not a fucking Charlo versus Castano. This fight was not close at all. At all. There was no debating this. 6 rounds. The first 6 Teofimo won. He won 2 of the next 6. That is 8-4. Clear. But this man said he really won the fight because of how the judges were sitting. Then he came back and said, "Well, this fight was really a draw." I watched it again. After watching it another time, I think a draw was fair. This fight was a draw. I was robbed. This was a draw. That's what he said. Then he came back now and said one of the reasons why he lost was because there was no rematch. But he's the one that didn't put a rematch in the fucking fight in the first place. Then he came back and said, "Oh, well, I'm fighting Nakatani Tuki, so I can get my shot back at Teofimo Lopez because he's ducking me, he's scared, he doesn't want to fight me, blah, blah, blah." Are you fucking serious? And no one is saying a word. No one is saying a word. No one is saying. This man went to his corner. He never one time the entire fight said he was injured. Never once. Never once. In whatever an ass fast fucking stand his language, he ain't never said he was injured at all. And his reasoning on why he never told his corner that he was injured was because he's a warrior and he was going to fight through the pain. Get the fuck out of it, bro. If you would have told your corner, then they could have gave you better advice to use. Jab. Jab. You're faster than him. You got better footwork. Just jab. Jab. You are Vasyl Lomachenko. If you just throw a fucking punch, the judges are looking to give you a fucking round. They're looking to. Oh, they're great. Vasyl, the speed, the footwork, the combinations, the angles. They're waiting. They're begging to give you a fucking round. You threw no punches. They had nothing to fucking give you. You made excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Some bullshit excuses. And no one said a word. Didn't say a fucking word. But y'all crucified Deontay Wilder for telling the truth. For saying what everybody saw. Floppy ass gloves. Not wanting to drink the water from Deontay Wilder's corner. The knuckle prints in his gloves. The blood under his fucking gloves. Seeing his knuckles through the fucking wrist pad. The wrist portion in the first fight. Everything that the world saw. But, yeah, I didn't see it. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see it. But when it comes to Vasyl Lomachenko, yeah, man, he was injured. Yeah, the reason why he lost is because he was injured. He had a torn shoulder. He even told y'all he had a torn shoulder. And you need to believe him because he told y'all. But if Deontay Wilder tells you, bro, I didn't have my legs coming into this fight, I didn't have my legs. But it is what it is. The better man won the fight. I'll see y'all in the rematch. That ain't good enough for y'all. That is not good enough for y'all. Oh no, that man needs to bow down, scrape. He needs to tell the world he was beaten, he was battered, he was bruised, he was busted up. He needs to bend down to the world on one knee, on both knees, and scream to the high heavens that he was beaten by the white man. He was beaten by this dude in February and during Black History Month. But Vasyl Lomachenko, oh, his excuses are valid. Why? Because he said so. And that's good enough. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That man got his ass whipped. Teofimo beat the shit out of that man. 8-4. Period. Very, very clear. But y'all don't want to talk about that, though. BFTB. Shout out to the LDBC. And I'm out.